Okay, this is a video for the Second World War carrot cakes. So before you get started, you need to preheat your oven to 200 degrees. You need to have a cake tin and you need to put 9 muffin cases in there. Use the deeper ones if possible because they support the cakes and tend to stop them flopping over to the other cakes. Okay, the first step, we're going to sieve in self-raising flour. Okay, so you're going to weigh out 230 grams. Then when you sieve, you're putting lots of air into this flour. That's what's going to give you your fluffy carrot cakes. So when you're sieving, you hit the sieve against your hand. You don't hit your hand against the sieve because that sends the flour everywhere. So you move the sieve back and forth, gently tapping your hand, and you'll be able to see the flour underneath is really fine and it won't have any lumps in. So keep going to all of that flour's in there. In the war, they didn't have access to things like butter very easily. So they would have used things like vegetable oils, vegetable fats and margarine. So we're going to be using margarine here. So what you need to do is break it up into little lumps. And then we're going to rub it in. So rubbing in is where we're using our thumbs and our fingertips to massage the fat into the flour. And that's going to coat all of the flour and give you a kind of breadcrumbs. So you're going to get your hands in there and you're going to break up those lumps of butter and massage the margarine into that flour. And what you'll notice is that the flour will go from a white colour to a golden colour, and that shows that you're rubbing that fat into all those flour particles. So when you're doing it, you're lifting it up high because we're putting lots of air into it again. So you're picking up the big lumps and you're massaging it. You can see my palms don't get dirty at all. We're not squeezing it, we're massaging it, so we're rubbing it, giving it a little massage. Okay, so lifting it up high, rubbing it between your thumb and your fingertips. If you squeeze it, you'll just get a big lumpy oily mess. So keep lifting it up high, go right down to the bottom of the bowl to make sure there's no white flour left down the sides, and then to check if you've got it all worked in and incorporated, give it a good shake and all of the big lumps will come to the top. That way you can pick those lumps up and work them in. So you can see now this has gone nice golden colour. There isn't really any lumps left. I'm going to check all around the bowl, check there's no white bits of flour, any pockets of flour left. And you can see it's gone into little fine breadcrumbs. That's what you're looking for. Okay. Once you've got to that stage, we're then ready to add in the rest of the ingredients. So the next thing we're going to add is sugar. There wasn't much sugar available in the war, so they actually used currants and the sweetness of carrots to balance out that sugar. So carrot cake was invented during World War II because they didn't have access to much sugar. So you're going to sprinkle in a little bit of sugar. We're then going to add in some raisins. They would have used dried food a lot, so they would have used dried milk, dried egg, because you could keep it for a long time. So they would have used a lot of dried fruit in their recipes as well. We're then going to add 1 egg in, so just use a teaspoon, crack the egg. They wouldn't have had many eggs available to them on their rations, so again they would have had to have found kind of alternative ways to make cakes quite moist. So you can see that's all ready. We're then going to mix that in all together before we add in our carrots. Now the carrots are going to add quite a lot of liquid, so don't worry if this mixture looks quite dry. It will look quite dry to start with, and then once we've added our carrots in there, you'll notice it starts to come together a bit more. So we're going to need 115 grams of carrot. Best thing to do is to weigh the carrot before you grate it to make sure you've got about the right size. Make sure you get all of your mix off your spoon because your egg will try and stick to that, and you'll have almost like the cookie dough mix until we add that carrot in. So like I said, weigh your carrot beforehand and then we're going to grate it. Don't worry about peeling it because we're going to peel it. Because we're going to grate it, you don't need to peel it, and there's lots of vitamins and fibre in the skin. So holding it at a 45-degree angle, remember not flat either way, in between upright and totally flat on its side. We're going to grate it just on the biggest side because it's going to cook and kind of dissolve into the mixture anyway. So weigh the whole carrot, then grate it. You can then check you've got the right amount, but you should be fine. Okay, we're going to get that straight into our bowl then. With a grater, good tap, make sure you get any bits out of the grater. It's not sharp on the inside, remember. And then we're going to mix all of that in again. And that moisture from the carrot is going to go into our mixture and make it a bit wetter. If you're struggling to mix it, grab a metal spoon, because some of these spatulas don't work very well. So get all the mix off. Okay. And then we're just going to mix that in together. You might need to press it down a little bit, press it against the sides, mix it all in together, okay? If your mixture is really, really dry, you can add a splash of milk, but it is quite a dense mixture compared to what you would get with a cupcake. So it doesn't want to be too runny, okay? Oh, there we go. So you've got your carrot in there. Like I said, that is what's going to add your moisture into there. So now we're going to get this into our cases. So now you need a big metal spoon and a small teaspoon. And you'll notice the teaspoon fits perfectly into that big spoon, and you can use it to push mixture into your cases. So we're going to take one big spoonful and we're going to use that little spoon to push mixture into the cases. We want to get these as even as possible, because if you've got one tiny cup muffin case full, and one that's really over full, the big one is not going to be cooked and the little one will burn. So if you get too much in one, so you can see here, too much in that one compared to the other two, just take a little spoonful out and then put it back into your bowl and spread it out, okay? So spread the mixture between all of your 9 cases. Then we're going to put that in the oven for about 15 minutes. And the way to check them when they come out of the oven is they should have gone a nice golden colour, so you can see compared to the mixture, it's really gone really lovely and golden. And we need to do the spring test, so that is where we touch the top of our cake, push it down, and it needs to spring back like a trampoline. If you think it sinks into it, it needs a bit longer. So you're looking for a nice golden colour, and that they should spring back.